before we started, first of all, I am very underprepared. The reason is very simple. It's because I've been speedrunning Pizza Tower. I uploaded the Pizza Tower speedrun. I might make a video of this though. Okay, look, wait. I know 12.3 just came out. This is a very late update video. I get it. I've been hooked on Pizza Tower, okay? I'm a Pizza Tower YouTuber now. Also, my old phone that contains my old main save file is slowly but surely dying. 2 minutes of Discord took away like 20% of my battery. I'm pretty sure it's not long for the world anymore, so I gotta move my main save file somewhere else, but I can't just buy another phone to keep my save file. But luckily, LD Player Emulator got my back. LD Player is a free Android emulator that allows you to play all your mobile games in your desktop. You can do keyboard and mouse gaming for mobile games or even with a controller if you want. LD Player provides the fastest performance when it comes to Android gaming in various Windows systems. And playing Battle Cats on PC is an experience that you may find more suitable for you. Don't want to manually click using your mouse to spawn your units one by one? Well, you can bind your keyboard so you can spam your meat shields using it. Do you have multiple save files that you want to juggle around maybe? Well, you can actually run multiple instances of LD Player at once, so you can manage your Battle Cat save files way easier. Finally, you can play Behemoth calling stage multiple times a day. So what are you waiting for? Use the links in the description or the pinned comments to download LD Player now for free. Back to the 12.2 discussion. Let's get back to Battle Cats 12.2. Actually going to use the wiki for reference, I think. Right, okay. This seems to be mainly good. What do I even call this update? I did write down the base decker update, but also... yeah, well, I'll just call it the base decker update. The Eggy update, that is also kind of funny. The Clash of Clans update? Wait, why? It's like I don't play Clash of Clans, so I have no idea what you're talking about. Because of how you can merge base materials. Okay, I see. Miscellaneous changes. Little cats have their level caps raised from plus 40 to plus 60. Unlock 5 at a time after completing certain stages. I kind of want to say that this is cool, but also at the same time, I feel like in the holy year of 2023, nobody really farms little cat. It's really either you go insane all out and then farm like crazy, or you just don't. I feel like there should have been easier ways to get dupes of little cats nowadays. But yeah, the caps of little cats have now been increased from plus 40 to plus 60. The way you unlock it is that you need to beat the new stage, which is the Little Cats Trial. Little Cats Trial have 4 stages. Each stage increases the cap by 5. And then next, new user rank Cat's Eye. I don't care. They don't even give you Dark Cat's Eyes. New cat combo. This is Summoner Satoru, Manic Dark, Jamira, and Flying Cat. I feel like this is a reference to something that I have no idea what it is about. What is this called? Eroimu Asaimu. What does this mean? Let me like Google this. Elohim is god or powers. The same might be locust or swarm. She's offering her soul to the devil. I think when you translate to god or powers, I think when you translate to locust or swarm, okay, try to offer her soul to the gods or angels or devil in exchange for being able to a small price for a big task. Common chant and animate to summon demons. Satoru summons the demon. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. To save the world, this boy made a pact with the Aku. Yeah, it is an L combo, but it's 4 slots, which is a lot. Next, added the ability to switch between ore and end filter. Does anyone have pictures on this? So you see that there's an ore button now. Usually when you filter, it always just goes for like this trait and this ability. You can now choose to make it an ore statement. So it's like this or this, which is pretty nice. It's a pretty neat stuff. Extra dimensional materials. So, you know how there's like bricks, feather, coal, sprocket, gold, meteorite, base bones, and ammonite. There are now called extra dimensional materials, being Z version of the original material job. So it's like Z brick, Z feather, Z coal, Z sprocket, whatever. These materials are used to upgrade foundation and style components of the cat base. So when usually you can only upgrade the cannon, you can now upgrade the cat base and also the decoration. In addition to drops in 0 legends, they can be obtained by spending 5 of the original materials and engineer to merge 1 extra dimensional material in an hour. Basically, when Ototo is not working on anything, you can choose to merge materials. Basically, you can choose between either any of these. Say you want to get a Z brick. You can send 1 helper and Ototo to work on merging 5 of these bricks, and it'll give you Z bricks in an hour. Oh yeah, they also naturally drop in 0 legends, which is the basically like the next UL. If you don't know, after UL you get to do 0 legends, and in 0 legend stages, the materials they drop are not the usual material drops. You know how in SOL and UL they give you basic drops like these, but in 0 legends they start to drop like these Z materials. Generally, it's not recommended to grind for these using the Ototo's helper, but like if you have spare helpers that is like free to use, and maybe if you have like 5 helpers all the time and you don't know what to, it's like you don't really have anything to use it on yet, then you can, you know, just like send one helper out to just work on something. What if you could buy engineers with cat fruit? That could be kind of funny, but also you can basically kind of do that using catamins. You can just spam catamins with Gamatoto and eventually you'll get helpers, you know? I have so much spare catamins, I never use catamins, so what you use these Z stuff for, you don't use it for cannons, instead you use it for foundation and style. Foundation is kind of like the base and style is kind of like the extra. For example, like the metal one, foundation is like the base and style is like the emblem thing in the middle. For this one, foundation is like the bottom here and decoration is the thunderbolt. What these things do, they just straight up give you resistance for all of the cats. Foundation will straight up reduce damage from traits, and style will straight up reduce debuffs that is inflicted to your cats, which is fucked up. It's actually kind of crazy, and they stack up with each other. There's like slow resist, freeze resist, and like weaken resist, whatever. But like wave resist, surge resist, toxic resist, that's crazy. You straight up can like reduce damage from wave and surge using styles. You can stack it up with the foundation. So if you do like the water blast foundation and water blast style, you can reduce damage from red and reduce damage from surge, and you get significantly less damage from red energy. All of your cats, which is insane. I thought it reduced straight damage to base. No, it reduces straight damage to cats. The percentage for effect for all foundation and style type begin at 0.75 at level 1, increase 0.75 per level up to 15% at level 20. So it's a flat increase. Usually a lot of like base upgrades, like for example like slow beam, the increase gets more and more. Slow beam level 1 to level 2 to level 3, it's like to increase 2 frame, 2 frame, 2 frames. But then and from here it increases by 3 frames, 2 frames, 3 frames, 5 frames, 5 frames. The more you upgrade cannon, the more significant the changes, but for foundation and style it's a flat increase. It is really, really good. 15% may not sound crazy, but it actually is. Where you don't need cat combos, you don't need specific upgrades, it doesn't only work on like specific units. Just the fact that it works on like every unit is insane. It's actually insane. I mean, obviously, the problem is that farming it is not easy. But also, to be fair, this is such a massive change that I actually don't really mind the fact that you need to grind a lot for it. I already saw some of you in chat were like complaining about grinding these. You have to be very late game to be able to farm it consistently. And like, yeah, I get it, but also you don't really absolutely need these, is what I really like. It's just the fact that these are mainly kind of just like, it's great, but also you don't need it. You can still just like, I don't know, play better or like boost your units or whatever. The grind is ass, but I don't mind because it's worth it. No, not really. That's not what I meant. The grind is ass and I don't mind it because if you don't grind it, you're not missing out. And if you do grind it, it's an extra thing. Whether it's worth it or not, that's up to you. How to beat triple Rajakon stage, angel damage down, wave resist cannon. Let's go. Is there a triple Rajakon stage? Oh, is that on the Hitman stage? Oh, right. Or was it for the duck? I don't know. He hasn't played the content. Of course I haven't. I literally have not touched Battle Cats because I've been speedrunning Pizza Tower. I don't know. I actually really like this. But yeah, I think that's about all that I want to talk about for foundation and style in general. That's all for the miscellaneous changes. I guess we go to maybe we do talk about the stages first, because we did also just talk about the little cats pluses as well. So Zero Legends, which is the Legends chapters after UL, gets one sub chapter. New event stages, Resident Undead. What is this? Oh, this is like the red what do you call it? Red Alert. Yeah, right. Yeah. Red Alert. It's like Red Alert. It's like Red Alert but for zombies. I've never actually seen the stages. Let me see what the max is. Zook, Zamel, Zappy, Zeal, and Zangru. Just use Cat Chief. Panos making stupidly hard zombie stages for no reason. What do you mean by no reason? Excuse me, there is a lot of reason for that. You know why? We have so much busted anti-zombie shit. First of all, we have Holy Blast, and then we have Cat Chief, we have Cadaver Bear, Volter Savage Blow, we have Cador, and Shigong. long, yes. It's like saying, oh, they make hard black stages. It's like, that's kind of deserved. But yeah, that's a thing. Eggy Cat awakens because Eggy Cat now has a true form. Neo 1-1 Glory because Rugby has a true form, and Little Cat's Trial. Also, all of these are 4-star restriction, and of course they all feature little cats. Like the first one have Little Cat and Little Island, Little King Dragon. Second one have Little Flying, Little Lion, and fucking Little Doge because of course. Third one have Little Lex, Little Jamira, and Akus. And last one have Little Eraser and Little Dart. First actual awakening stages in like 2 years. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, Eggy Cat awakens. We haven't gotten an awakening stages in so long. An awakened stages where we actually fight the awakened cat itself. We haven't gotten this in so long, especially after Behemoth. Because after Behemoth update, they just started giving Behemoth Stone upgrades to literally everybody. Stuff like Pumpcat got robbed off an awakening stages. But yeah, I don't think these stages are like significantly hard. I mean, this is an insane stage, you know. It's not really meant to be played by late game players. It is meant to be played basically around a similar time when you do other awakening stages, which is like kind of early on. So it's fair enough. So yeah, Eggy Cat's true form, we'll get into it in a bit as well. Empress Research, we got new Empress Excavation. This unlocks a new egg, which we'll also get into later. We got new Gauntlets, which is Attack of the Omens. Omen is the new Aku Baron. It's we'll also get into that later. 2 crown for UL, 3 crown for UL, 4 crown for UL. That's all for the stages. Okay, we haven't talked about Edge of Space-Time, which is the new Zero Legend stage. From what I heard, it's an easy chapter. But what's special about these is that they start using one-time use enemies. So COTC1 Cat God is now used in the first stage. Fourth stage have White Cyclone. So Hanya's here and we got a new enemy which is Mini White Cyclone, which we'll also get into in a bit. So that's kind of like the main thing about Zero Legends, I guess. So you can say that a lot of these stages starts to kinda have a little bit of like a tower-ish feel. Not exactly, because I think power stages are like more coherent. Legend stages aren't usually meant to be taken super seriously, so I kinda get it, but also apparently a lot of people just say like these stages are like very, very easy. So in a way, this chapter isn't super special in a way where it's like there's any super memorable stage, but I think it does kind of like set a foundation for future, for what to expect on future Zero Legends. Also, I just realized I'm still holding a pizza. Let me change this pizza real quick. Change to holding a cat. I gotta actually like get a PNG for that first though. Holding cat PNG. Let me render this on Photoshop real quick. So how do I hold this cat? Do I just leave it like that? Kind of like this. There we go. Well, what were we talking about again? Zero Legend, setting up foundation. It has Hanya and Mini White Cyclone. Yeah, that's about it. What about Aku Baron? I don't really care about the stage schematics because I'm not gonna touch that shit. Yeah, have fun with you. You want to do Barons? Have fun with that shit. I ain't doing it. So Easter Egg, Devil Wife, Omens, Mini White Cyclone, and Teonir. Easter Egg, this is for Eggy Awakens. He looks exactly the same as normal Eggy, except that in the sprite he now have like that golden bigger Moai. It's an early game enemy. You don't need to worry about it that much. It's an Omni Strike early game enemy. It's alright. Next one is Devil Wife, which is an Aku Salaboodle. Yeah, it's on the Baron continuation stage. Also, I just want to say, she has a Sinner Snake as her tail. That's so cute. I really like that detail. And she has a Death Surge. I think it's really fucking funny. It is kind of what you expect from Salaboodle. Single target, big damage, low range. You kind of get the gist. The range of the surge attack is also wildly inconsistent. Salaboodle drops too much money for her own good. She still drops a lot of money, doesn't she? 850 to 3,000. How much does Salaboodle drop? 7,000 to 2,000. Wow, it's even more than Salaboodle. Okay, that drops a lot of money. Damn. Influencer with the beauty and clout to attract all kinds of attention. Leads a very luxurious life. Famous for making waves with her fashion. Donates all of her money to the less fortunate. That's kind of cute. So Omens. They turned the Stickman into the Baron. Out of all the Akus they could have chosen, they went for Cerberus kits. I also just like the fact that like the Colossal Stone is just straight up in their face. It's just like slapped in their face. It's so funny. So it has multi-hit. There's 3 guys, so they say how about you make it attack 3 times, and all of these have 30% chance of surge. One attack can technically have a chance to just spawn 3 fucking random surge all at once. Standing range is 430. It does random surge, random freeze, but at least it won't like straight up one-shots everything, I think. So it's a Baron, and I don't really care much about Baron, so I'm not gonna get too much into it. I already go into the overview. The name, someone mentioned earlier that the name sucks. Actually, after looking at the trivia, I think the name is funny, because Omens in Japanese name, Omenzu, is a combination of O, which is big, and Omens, which is omens, and mens, which is men. So they're literally big guys, large men, and I think that's really fucking clever. But yeah, that's Omens. I'm not gonna get too much into it. If you wanna fight him yourself. And we got Mini White Cyclone, which appears in Zero Legends. It's unfortunately floating. I kinda wish that it's a traitless enemy, but it's floating and it does Cyclone thing. Alright health, big damage, you know, 120,000 DPS, small range. It's single target? Wait, actually, I did not know this. I did not know it's single target. What the fuck? You can camera, you can Sanzo, you can Fishman, you can Necrodancer. I think it's 200% in ZL, so it's like 888,000 HP. And also the main thing that I'm surprised by is that it's really slow. Movement speed is only 5. Normal Cyclone is 7. It's very slow. Yeah, Mesa Cosmo is 14. Mesa Cosmo is super fast. He, Little Cyclone, and Cyclone are the only gendered cycles. Thank you for the trivia. Thank you for the trivia, Wiki. I'm sure the like 5 people who roleplays as the Cyclones and Amino would be glad to know about that. But yeah, that's Mini White Cyclone. I feel like this would have been fine if his speed is actually fast, but the fact that it's 5 speed, it's like it barely pushes, doesn't it? Next up is Teonir, which I still feel like the name should have been Teonir. I still hate the fact that they name it Teonir and not Teonir. Infernal Pegasus Teonir, Cho Enju Teoniru. It's a new Behemoth Angelic Sleipnir, which is red and not angel. Sleipnir, as you'd expect, it's a high range, fast attacking unit, except that it does mini wave. Also is immune to slow and surge and have a 15% chance of freeze instead of knockback. Oh my god. It's so annoying. So when I first saw it's a Sleipnir that does wave, my first thought was that, oh my god, this is an enemy that I can use Batcat wave resistance talent on. Normal Sleipnir is like 370 range or something like that, so Batcat outranges is what I thought. And then I look at the range and it's 400 range and I'm like, Ponos, what the fuck? Bro, you could have made an enemy that Batcat can actually work on really well, and then you give the enemy 400 range, because Batcat is 400 range, so it doesn't outrange Sleipnir. And I'm like, oh my god, such a wasted opportunity. So it's big range, has chance to freeze. Yes, as some people say, it's kind of supposed to counter Courier, but guess what counters it? Courier. It deals actually like pretty big damage. 8,000 damage kind of hurts, but yeah, just use Courier. It's a very scary enemy, but a la scary behemoth enemy, it's usually not supported by anything super crazy, currently at least. It is not immune to weaken, so Roe can technically disable to weaken it. Oh, they actually mentioned Bondage Cat. That's cool. That's surprising. Wiki actually mentions Bondage Cat. I was actually going to mention Bondage Cat as well, because he's not freeze immune. Technically speaking, you actually can use Talented Bondage Cat, because Talented Bondage Cat's dodge could also mean that it is able to dodge through the mini wave and the freeze. Of course, this is if he's able to be freely hit, but you know, that's a thing that you could use. Also, Teonir, you know, it's a behemoth, so it is based off a Monster Hunter monster. It is based off Teostra, which is a really cool lion thing. It's a chimera. And what I'm looking forward to is that since we have a Teostra representation, I can't wait for Lunastra. A lot of Elder Dragon references, yeah. And also Rajang, which, you know, Rajang is basically an Elder Dragon. It's not classified as an Elder Dragon, but Rajang literally beats the shit out of Elder Dragons. That's Teonir. I still think that they should have called him Teonir. Who knows what Ponos have in store for Teonir, because, you know, similar to Hazuku also debuts without really any scary stages, but eventually they start to understand how to balance Hazuku, and they start to put Hazuku in some scarier stages, so yeah, who knows. Since we were talking about Teonir, look at this. It's a fucking 15-minute sketch. What the fuck? It's so good. This art is really good. Check their Twitter, give them a follow or whatever. Really good art. I really like their style. So good. That's it for the enemies. So let's move on to the cats. Let's start with the basic stuff. Shin Japanese Hero Universe Collab. Kamen Rider Cat, Cat Godzilla, Evangelion Cat, and Ultraman Cat. If I'm not mistaken, all of these are like very identical in stats, and they're literally just like different in abilities, but they're really cute. Just look at this fucking Godzilla. Look at this guy. Look at this dude. Look at this guy. Look at this man. He's so fucking dumb. He looks so dumb. I love him. I think it's pretty cool that they collab with this. It's like, unit aside, the collab itself is kind of cool. It's also really funny just the fact that you look at this banner and it's just like, oh shit, that's so badass. And you look at Cat Godzilla. Damn, that's so cool and epic. And then you look at this guy. Shin Japan Hero Universe. I honestly don't really understand what this is. I think this is kind of like mainly for merch things, for collaborations where they combine 4 heroes. I mean, I guess Godzilla have been portrayed to fight other kaijus before, but also I don't fucking know. I don't understand. Godzilla technically Earth Defender now in a lot of canons. Really? Is this not on EN? I actually have no idea. I guess it's not. It's probably not on EN. I think it makes sense for this to not really be on EN because it's Japan heroes. Well, I mean, we have Evangelion, we have Godzilla, but Kamen Rider and Ultraman are like very Japanese thing, you know? It would be cool if it comes to EN, but also it's Labyrinth Fodder, but I think it's just nice to have the units. There's not that much content, but I think it would be neat. New Ubers, Thunderjack, and Rabbit Satoru. Normal Satoru also gave the true form. They also gave Satoru a Easter variant, which I think is pretty cute. Easter variant is for traitless. So 100% chance to slow traitless enemies, 5 seconds slow. 100% chance, very nice. Range is really big, it's very nice. Immune to wave, it's very nice. Very nice unit in general. DPS is workable. 3600 DPS is honestly not that terrible, especially with 470 range and LD. You can use it for a lot of traitors. You can use it for like Yulala. You can use it for Hermit. You can use it for Merlion. Speaking of Merlion, I did just went to Singapore a few days ago. If you guys haven't seen that, and I also got an Among Us plushie. I think even outside of traitless, you can still use it for like wave immune shenanigans. Again, the DPS isn't that crazy, but also just the fact that the range is huge and also it's LD and short cooldown. Pretty good, pretty good. Oh wait, what's next? Thunderjack. This is the new Dark Souls. Dark Hero. New Dark Hero Uber. Oh my god, I need a break. I'm sorry, I've been talking too much. The Dark Souls of Battle Cat's Uber. So, Thunderjack. You can kind of compare it with Chun-Li. Chun-Li have 300 range and 19k DPS. Thunderjack have 18k DPS and 250 range. Okay, Chun-Li actually has more range and more DPS, huh? Somewhat short mid-range unit with multi-hit and knockback and good DPS. Except that Thunderjack has 1 knockback count and pretty significant amount of health. Also, the cooldown is way shorter than Chun-Li. Chun-Li is 91 seconds, Thunderjack has 77 seconds. Kind of like a semi-tanker-ish. 120k HP isn't crazy big. If you want to compare it to like Divine Kai, which is like 200k or something like that. I guess this is kind of more like damage-based unit. This is the Dark Heroes. It has different targeting trait on different form. First form is Angel Alien, second form is Alien Zombie. As usual, it keeps the aliens. It's also similar to Chun-Li. This basically means whatever target it doesn't hit, it would have better time damaging. Because knockback would mean you're getting the enemies out of his range. So for example, if you want to fight angel enemies and you really want to damage angel enemies, since first form knockback angel enemies, you should use the second form. If you want to fight zombie enemies, use the first form because, you know, it doesn't even have zombie killer. But you could use it to like unburrow zombies. Kind of a weird unit where like it definitely works in somewhat specific scenarios. But in those specific scenarios, I think he could pop off. Still a weird unit. It's kind of hard to judge, but yeah, that's kind of about it. I am going to take a quick break. I'll leave the cat there. Don't do anything to the cat while I'm away. Bro, I love you for like 4 minutes. Stop trying to traumatize the cat. What the fuck? I'm taking away your cat privileges. Safe and sound now. Alright, back to that game. Okay, N005, aka Hitman Cat, aka Mr. Stick from Pizza Tower. I forgot, I should have brought up my own image. Hold on. And yes, new Ancient Egg does require 12 yellow stones. The new Mystic Egg, you get it from the new Empress Excavation 4, which is where you fight Teonir. So after you beat all that, you get Ancient Egg N005, which evolves into Hitman Cat. Upgrade cross, as mentioned earlier, the main thing is fucking 12 yellow stones, 10 blue, 11 green. It's a lot. It's a lot. But it's actually pretty worth it. It's a lot, but it's really worth it, but also it's still a lot. And man, I hope they give A new way to give Yellowstones because, yeah, it's like a mini Minna, mini D'Artagnan, mini something. Spammable Dart, I guess. It's a long-distance unit with massive damage to traitless and wave immunity and freeze immunity. Because, of course, they want you to deal with clone farmers, I guess. His health isn't super crazy, it's good enough. Standard 3 knockback, attack power is 18,000. Attack range is really good. It's at 300 standing range, that's really nice. And recharge time is 11 seconds, which is actually like pretty fucking short. 2,500 DPS may not sound like much, but for someone who stands at 300 range with LB and 11 seconds cooldown, this is a really good base DPS. And having massive damage against traitless on top of it is insane. Good range, good recharge, good cost. It only costs 960. That's not much at all. It's like really cheap for something that deals this much damage. There's the guy. Looks around. Pulls out a bazooka. Boom! His blind spot is pretty big. His blind spot is at 250. It's like, it's small enough to not be too much of a problem, but also big enough for you to be able to just like stack the shit out of it. Does anyone have image of people like stacking up Hitman Cat? Such a nasty ass thumbnail. Holy shit. Fucking Yohane. Oh my god. Yeah, this is Clone Farmer. He just stacks the fuck out of him. Look at this. Look at this. Boosh! Wait. Boosh! Dead! Instantly dead. Merlion dead. Aros dead. Note that this is level 30. Okay, hold on. Let me open up calculator. 18,700 times 3 is 56,000. 56,000 damage per hit. And he has 11 seconds cooldown. It's really good. Attack frequency is kind of long. As you can see earlier, it's 7 seconds long. But even then, it's like, it's so worth. A lot of like the recent crazy units are literally all made for 4-star. And I think they're literally all just made to make 4-star UL possible. TLDR unit is really good, but it costs a lot. But it's arguably worth it because it's just that good. That's all for the new units. Let's talk about the talents first, and then we'll move on to the true forms. Ultra talents. Let's talk about the ultra talents first. Ice Crystal and Masamune are now the ones with new ultra talents, and alongside with ultra talents, Masamune specifically gains a second orb slot. Usually units with ultra talents have a second orb slot, but I think Ice Cat didn't get it for some reason. Ice Cat's ultra talent, strengthen, dodge attack, and target metal. Honestly, not that bad. Like, Ice Cat's damage is kind of like okay. Currently, it's some 5,000 damage at 425 range. The range is not as desirable. Attack power is okay, but the main thing is that her cooldown is really short, so you can kind of stack her, but she has like no health. You could make her a damager, especially with the fact that you can pair it with the dodge. Because like 40% chance is really big chance. Target metal is definitely not something that is also bad either, because you know she's already something that can perma-freeze stuff. Getting an extra target if you have trouble with certain trait is always nice to have. When you're already doing ultra talents, you're going to have her at level 60, which is an investment that is absolutely questionable, but at least I guess you can make her stats work if you want to get the ultra talents up. It's a lot of investment to make a unit good. Realistically, you're not going to get. Next up is Masamune, whose ultra talent is literally just mini wave, which, you know what? I like this a lot. Not a lot of people talk about this because I think this is actually a really good ultra talent. The mini wave at maximum level is guaranteed. It's a level 5 guaranteed mini wave at maximum level. It's pretty good. Slight damage boost, double knockback, good stuff. Yeah, it's like level 5 wave goes pretty far. It's like understandable that it's not a normal wave that would be kind of fucking strong, but for example, maybe if you're against like Lenore, right? And you want to knock back the Lenore, but the Lenore or the enemies haven't pushed enough to a point where Masamune can hit Lenore. Masamune can use his wave to simply snipe the Lenore and just constantly like pushes them back. Trolling Kurosawa is funny. Yeah, you can also use it for Kurosawa, so that with the mini wave, you have a 40% chance of just constantly bullying Kurosawa, and I think it's really fucking funny. And aside from that, Masamune just have good damage. Like, Masamune have 6,000 DPS, that's good damage. You combine that with the mini wave, not only you increase the damage dealt to the frontline enemy, you just constantly snipe fight the backline enemy, and I think that's just good. I think it's a really good ultra talent. Question is who's going to realistically spend it on, but I feel like this is one of the better ultra talents for sure. This is probably the second best ultra talent aside from Ku, and it's only one ultra talent. I think this is better than Megidora's ultra talent. The $1 Uber strikes again because I think Masamune is still better than Megidora, especially with the ultra talent. What about Akira? Oh yeah, okay, that's okay, that's a kind of hard competition. Okay, both Akira and Masamune is really good. So yeah, Masamune stays winning. New true form or talents first? Let's see. Let's go with true forms first. Eggy first. Eggy Cat. Eggy. Who want Eggy? All right. So Summoner Satoru, right? So Summoner Satoru gets a true form, right? It's pretty good true form. Oh, I didn't notice his hat. That's kind of funny. It's pretty fucking good true form too. Not only that he gets an Easter variant that is good, he gets a true form that is also really good as well. True form requirement is 3 Aku Cat Fruit and 1 Epic Seed. I swear it's like every fucking update, Konos finds a way to make Ubers that like screws up Aku more. Satoru, the main change is that his health is now buffed, damage stays the same, attack range is the same, attack frequency is the same, movement speed is the same, knockback is the same, attack animation is apparently wait, what? The backswing is slightly more? Okay, that doesn't really matter. Respawn is the same. The main thing is that now the chance of a shield pierce, which used to be 20%, is now 50%, which is significantly more reliable. That's really good, especially just the fact that his LD is 370 to 770. This means that he can target a lot of Akus and is able to be just like way more reliable on shield piercing. He gets knockback on Aku, which may not sound like good, but knockback on an LD unit that is guaranteed with slow, it's pretty damn good. It's also just the fact that his 100% slow is 6 seconds long, which is really fucking long. This makes him just not only a really good anti-Aku CC, but also just a really good shield piercer in general. Anything piercing like Wave, Surge, LD, Omni Strike, and stuff like that, giving them knockback is not a bad idea because you also are able to push the backliners alongside them. So yeah, Satoru eating good. Next, Eggy, Babel, Rugby. Alright, fine, we'll talk about Eggy. But look at this though. Look at this. It's so funny. Just the fact that like his icon does not change. It's literally just the exact same. This is him when he's attacking. So the only change Easter egg got is that it went from 20% chance to slow Angel to 100% chance to slow Angel. Honestly, it's not that bad. It's like, you might say it's like, okay, yeah, Sanzo exists, but there are definitely times where you want to have like immediate slow. Yeah, again, like against Saint Dobor, for example. You know, you gotta get the first proc up and running to be able to do like the Juliet stack and all that stuff. But being able to also have like a 100% chance to actually slow, it's like, yeah, it's 2 seconds, but also his attack frequency is also basically like that. It might not like replace Sanzo, that much is for sure, but like just giving an extra like fallback safety option that is like a guaranteed slow, I think it's pretty good. It's worth keeping in mind that this is a unit that exists and is actually usable. Not a bad true form. It's not Sanzo tier, it's not gonna replace Sanzo, but I think it's good enough. And then Babel and Rugby. Babel, the legend, finally gets true form, the first ever legend rare that gets a true form. His change is that his health gets increased by quite a lot. Attack power is the same, attack range is the same, attack frequency is the same, movement is the same, knockbacks the same, attack animation is the same, recharge time is the same. He used to be immune to freeze and slow, now he's immune to knockback and toxic as well, on top of the freeze and slow. Oh, and Colossus Slayer, I actually forgot about this. That's cool, I guess. If you want to deal with Barons, you can now use Babel too, I guess. Pretty good damage resistance and pretty good damage. I don't really have much to say about this true form. I think it's very straightforward. Immune to knockback, I think it's absolutely needed. Any tank in general absolutely needs immune to knockback in my opinion. Toxic obviously is just good against toxic enemies in general. It's not a bad true form. It's not the most exciting one. It's nice to have, I guess. That's about it. There's not that much to say. I think it's a pretty good true form. Rugby Cat, in which you get it from Neo 1-1 Glory. I totally forgot to talk about this. Neo 1-1 Glory is the Wrath and Revenge of 1-1. The Wrath's restriction is no Uber, which in my eye, there's no restriction here. It's literally just the same stage for me. Oh yeah, also, for some reason, they set the difficulty as insane, even though it's definitely a merciless advent. Top Dog is kind of funny. I've played picked the stage before, I kind of failed to realize that all I needed to do was bring Fishman. I tried to do like some really crazy wave slime stack strat where you like herb on knockback 1-1 or something like that, but it ended up being too complicated and I could not do it. And in the end, I kind of just like bring Fishman and then I win. It's not a terribly hard stage. It's not a terribly super mega easy stage, but I think it's pretty easy still. And it took me a couple of attempts. It's not that hard. It's not that easy. When you beat Top Dog, you get how do you spell his name again? Gridiron? What does this even mean? Gridiron. Gridiron. Is that how you spell it? Gridiron? Gridiron Cat? Okay, that makes a lot more sense actually. So, Gridiron Cat's change is that he gets significant health buff. It may not look like much, but this is 1.5 times health buff, which is kind of a lot. Attack range is the same, attack frequency is the same, movement speed is the same, knockback is the same. Damage is about like 1.2 times better. Attack animation is the same, recharge time is the same, and now he is also strong against Aku and is immune to Surge. So the main two things is that aside from stat buff, he gains target Aku and Surge immunity, which is not bad. It's actually pretty good now. Previously, one of Rugby's main problem is that aside from just the fact that his target is black, which is not the most relevant target, it's also just the fact that his everything is underwhelming. His health is super low, he dies super fast, and his damage is kind of lacking. Now his damage is still not the best, but at least he has like both wave and surge immunity to give him even more usage. It's definitely not as bad as before. He goes from like barely unusable to now like definitely usable. Absolutely, you can bring him around on certain stages and he's like an absolutely valid unit to bring, you know? That's kind of about all for Gridiron. So let's move on to the 3 talents. First, Divine Twin Stars. What the fuck is this talent? Immune to curse, immune to slow, and resist wave. What? Who made these talents? I just want to talk. No resist. Yeah, like I already said before that like it would have been nice, I think, if Twin Stars gets a resist. But first of all, curse immunity, she doesn't even have that much health to begin with. And then resist wave. What fucking wave unit are you gonna use her on? You can definitely use slow to be able to work on like I don't know, certain stages where you want her to like defend herself. It's probably not really worth it. They weren't cooking anything. They really weren't. Yeah, meh talent. Not really a good talent either in general. It's weird. I don't like the talent. Little Eraser now gets a talent. Finally, talents are resist toxic, soul strike, dodge attack, defense buff, dodge zombie, defense buff, and attack buff. First of all, what the fuck? Soul Strike? Okay, I'll be honest with you. The first time, we all were like, let's try to make this work. Let's think about what stages this could have worked on. And then like eventually days later, nobody could really come up with anything. And we kind of just deemed it's like, okay, yeah, never mind. We thought this would be interesting, but it's actually just not great. The only thing that I can think of is that, for example, maybe you want to deal with like a unit that really pushes fast. Maybe like Solo or Cadaver Bear. Due to the Soul Strike, the little Eraser ended up like stacking up. This could allow you to use the dodge attack that he has, have these like stack of little Eraser to have a high chance to dodge the next attack, if you know what I'm saying. Do I make sense? Do I make sense? Yeah, no. Nope. Okay, let me like draw it. Let's just say this is the little Eraser, right? Little Eraser, little Eraser, little Eraser. So there's a stinking pile of zombie corpse right here. Let's say this is Zolo, right? You got like some big Uber here or some shit like that. Maybe there's like multiple Zolo corpses, right? Without the Soul Strike talent, they would just go forward, right? And when the Zolo revives, they would immediately charge in and they would have to deal with like maybe 2 erasers before hitting the Uber. And there's a lot of like little erasers in front of them, right? But with the Soul Strike, these little erasers would get stuck here. So there's like a wall of little erasers here, which like, yes, Zolo could destroy them all in one shot, but there's more chance for them to proc the dodge, and therefore they are able to protect the Uber with a better chance. You know what I'm saying? Okay? Does this come across better? Of course, this is like very specific scenarios, right? This is an extremely specific scenario. But, you know, Uber usually don't have Soul Strike. No. The Uber's just walking. This is just an example. Cat Chief moment. Look. This is a specific situation where you don't have Cat Chief, right? I think the new Uber you just made it looks pretty strong. The new Uber is just like this. There we go. That's a new Uber. So yeah, the Soul Strike just doesn't really work that well. In case there are people watching who haven't really understood why the Soul Strike doesn't really help exactly, or would just like ruin stuff, a lot of zombie stages are mixed trait. They're not just zombies. So a lot of the times you are going to fight a battle of two fronts. You know, one where zombies would dig down, one where there's like corpses, maybe some zombies that doesn't dig down in general. Maybe there's just something in front that you also need to protect. Maybe there's like a second Uber here, you know, and if you have Soul Strike, these little erasers wouldn't exist. These little erasers would be stuck in the Zolo on the corpses. Your Ubers in front would have nothing to stop it. That's basically the entire point of why the Soul Strike is like weird choice to have. So yeah, Soul Strike probably detrimental to have. Don't get it. Resist Toxic is decent, I suppose, but also we have Rice Ball Toxic Immunity, which kind of does a similar thing, except that it's immune and not resist. You're not gonna find that much usage out of it. And then the dodge attack doubles up as a target zombie talent and also a dodge chance, where 10% chance dodge. At level 1, it's 0.8 seconds of dodge, and every level increases by 4 frames, up to about 2 seconds of dodge. So you could unlock just the first one, which I think would cost probably like 75? I think it's 75. And, you know, you can make it slightly better against zombies. It's not that much. And also Shigong exists, but it's, if you just unlock the level 1, it's not super expensive, so it helps. The main other thing is probably the main thing that you want to get is a defense buff, because you know it's defense buff. Anyways, here's the big boy of the talents of this update, a little King Dragon, who, by the way, in a new update can be up to plus 60, which means it's 50 plus 60, which is level 110, which has the exact same stats as King Dragon at 20 plus 90. You can easily one-up King Dragon by simply getting the stat buff. All of the talents listed here, all of them are super good. All of them. Immune to Surge? Damn. For 75 NP, don't mind if I do. Survive? Damn. That actually is a survive lethal that is just really good. And then on top of all that, if you think that's not enough, Mini Wave. Damn. And it's 40% chance. It's 4% chance on every level, and it's a level 4 Mini Wave. Damn, that's crazy. 40% chance of Mini Wave. It's not wave, so it's not exactly like a 40% damage increase either, but just the fact that you can like stack him up, he has a big range, you can stack him up, and his damage is like actually good, and even more the fact that he survives and is immune to Surge. Damn, this is really good. And it's quite a lot of NP to invest on because it's a super rare cost, but damn, it's really good. That's crazy. It's super good. Yeah, this is like the more reason to farm little tickets in general. Very, 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 very good talent. Unfortunately, I feel like the Dragon meta is still not super amazing, but I think the main thing about Dragon meta too is that like one of the reasons why Dragon meta haven't been as prevalent is because single target kinda hurts. But just the fact that it's a mini wave means that not only you're going to increase your damage, that also means that you are actually able to deal with things with an area attack, which is really good. I think it's worth investing anyway due to Jiangxia and Little King Dragon combo. That is true. Yeah. That's a good point. That is a good point. Little King Dragon and Jiangxia has an attack combo, which is just really good in general because Jiangxia is a meat shield and King Dragon is King Dragon. And then if you give him talents, you're just going to make this combo fodder an actually like very competent unit. But yeah, I think that's about all for this update. I'm not missing anything, right? Is there anything else that I should talk about? Mewtwo from Fate, Dark Sakura. Oh yeah, I guess Dark Sakura only appears in EN. We're gonna touch Dark Sakura real fast then. Right, Sakura Mato gets a true form in 12.1 in JP and 12.2 in EN. Her main change, I think, is only Soul Strike? No. Her damage stays the same. Her attack frequency is better now. From 7 seconds to 5.7 seconds. Movement speed is the same, knockback is the same, attack animation is the same, recharge time is the same. So it's Soul Strike, freeze immunity, and also attack frequency change, right? I have used Sakura before, it's been a while, and I do remember that her attack frequency is a little bit sluggish. So having a better attack frequency is definitely very nice. Immune to freeze in general is just not a bad thing. At least it's not like immune to weaken. And Soul Strike is just good. Her damage per hit is already pretty good. That combined with Soul Strike is just pretty nice. It's a pretty straightforward, good true form, I feel like. It's a pretty straightforward, good true form. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. I don't know if there's really any specific time where you don't want the Soul Strike. Maybe there is, but in that case, you could probably still use the normal Sakura and have less damage. Normal Sakura is already a pretty good unit anyways. But yeah, that's about all for this update. Fate Gacha? No, it's 4 a.m. I gotta go. I gotta go to sleep. Did you ever cover Aku Enigmas? Isn't Aku Enigma in 12.1? I didn't talk about 12.1 because I didn't feel like there was that much to talk about. Wait, did I skip on 12.1? Did I talk about 12.1? I actually forgot. Is it like that that much of a nothing that I actually forgot that I even talked about it? You did. Alright, I did call it the nothing update. Oh my god. Yeah, you're right. Oh, it's so dumb.